The Five Nights at Freddy's franchise now has a total of 11 different games that create a deep and complex story, and most recently Fnaf Up 1 and 2 was released 2 months ago. This game holds so much depth, lore, story, and mysteries. But one of the biggest mysteries that came from not just this game but from the entire franchise is, where does FNAF go from here? One of the most popular theories going around currently is that the next FNAF game will be an origin game that takes place in the 1980s, but will this really happen? Well, in this video, I'm going to go over the possible specifics of the gameplay, characters, and how the story will connect to the newer FNAF games. Let's get started. Now, it's obvious that the next FNAF game will be related to or will be directly about the Fredbear family diner location, as we've seen more than enough evidence from these newer games. In FNAF Security Breach, we saw various posters advertising this location. In Ruin, we saw a cardboard cutout of Fredbear that unlocked a secret ending where we saw Gregory and Vanessa. And most recently in Help Wanted 2, we saw this poster of Fall Fest 1970 hinting at some event that took place in the early parts of the timeline. So again, all of this evidence has created the popular theory that the next game will be a FNAF origin game that people have started to call FNAF Zero. I've already made an in-depth video of why this game is very likely to happen, but I never discussed the specifics. So starting with the gameplay, what exactly would this look like? Well, following the trends of all the newest FNAF games after Ultimate Custom Night, which were all made by Studio Studios, we either got a VR game or an open world game, and since we just got FNAF Help 1 and 2, I think it's safe to assume that this new game would be an open world game taking place in this diner. But many people theorized or are hoping that it would be very similar to the first couple of games where you sit in an office and watch the cameras to make sure nothing gets inside. Technically, this would make sense as it is the origin game, but I find it hard to believe that Studio Studios would make a game like this after making games like Help Wanted and Security Breach. Going from an open world game with a huge map that you can explore the entirety of to a point and click survival game wouldn't feel satisfying and fulfilling for fans. I just don't think the majority of the fan base would be happy with this decision, and I still think we're gonna get a free roam game again based in the diner. But this alone brings up another big issue. The size of the Fredbear family diner location would be significantly smaller than the Pizzaplex we got in Security Breach, so it's hard to find a way how this game could still feel engaging and enjoyable, as it would feel like you're just running around in circles. So how can they make the map of the pizzeria larger and similar to scale to the Pizzaplex? Well, I think it's either one of two things. And the first idea is that the other part of the map is an actual carnival or fall fest that we see in this poster. What if Fredbear's family diner was not only a restaurant but was also a part of a large-scale carnival, so the player could move freely inside the pizzeria and go outside of the carnival to explore and to survive. And this would be a great opportunity to introduce new animatronics, which I'll mention later in the video. But either way, because of this poster, merchandise revolving around a circus theme, and because of this message in FNAF Ruin that seems to be hinting at, again, a circus, I think we can expect that the other part of the map will be an actual circus. But this next idea follows the trends we've seen in the past 3 major FNAF games. In each of those games, we see the player explore hidden layers of the pizzeria, and the deeper they go, the more mysteries are revealed. So what if we see multiple layers to the Fredbear family diner location, which were designed by William Afton? He's already done something similar in FNAF Central Location with the underground bunker, so it's not that hard to believe we could possibly see it here. And this way the map is expanding significantly, and you won't just be running circles around the pizzeria, and this is the theory I believe in the most. So the gameplay would revolve around the player not only exploring Fredbear's family diner, but the lower levels beneath it while uncovering the mysteries that come with them, all while trying to survive. But moving on to the characters, it's obvious we'll see Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, but during this time period no murders have happened, meaning they can't be possessed. And the only reason I see them moving around freely and trying to capture you is due to a security protocol like we see in Security Breach. But 2 animatronics definitely won't be enough, so here's who else I think we'll see. For some time now, it's been a popular theory that the puppet actually originated from this location and not Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, so this game could not only confirm this but also give us some background of this character. But this still wouldn't be enough, so I think the other characters we'll see will be the earliest versions of the main animatronics. They would essentially look like endoskeletons with a few details differentiating them. And this way there's about 6 animatronics that are introduced throughout the game, and this would be enough to have engaging gameplay. Now in terms of who we play as, this doesn't matter as much, but I do think it would be cool if we played as a young Michael Afton, since that would follow the trend of Michael being the main character of every FNAF game before Ultimate Custom Night. But finally, this leads me to my last point, which is the story and how it connects to the newer FNAF games. The story could serve the purpose of answering old questions about the earlier animatronics like the puppet, and about major characters like Michael Afton and maybe even William Afton. There's actually a lot about the early parts of the timeline that we still don't know anything about, and I see this game answering a lot of those questions. questions, and in terms of newer questions it could answer, the only thing that comes to mind is the Mimic. I've already mentioned the Mimic in 3 of my other videos since it's one of the biggest questions that still hasn't been answered. We know this animatronic predates most of the earliest pizzerias, so what if it originates from the first pizzeria, Fredbear's Family Diner? The story would follow a young Michael Lafton who is somehow trapped in the Fredbear Family Diner pizzeria. Trying to escape and survive, he stumbles upon the lower levels and discovers different mysteries in each level. And in the final level, he finds the Mimic, which would act as the main villain, and this is how the story would connect to the newer games. But this is all just speculation and a theory. Nothing has been confirmed yet, but I think we have a pretty good idea based on new evidence. But what do you guys think? How exactly will a Fredbear Family Diner game work, and should that be the direction the franchise heads in next? But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and thanks for watching.